on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through March 1st, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has donated over $890,000, providing more than 2.6 million meals to people across southeast Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Train Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
Built Right. One location saves you money.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
The Bucks are about to mystify the Magic in Orlando.
There's Andre Jackson slapping the ball out to Lillard. He'll drive inside, corkscrewing down low on the handoff to Giannis, who stuffs it down with one hand.
Our coverage begins tonight at 5:30 on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 11:01. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, January 10th. Your top story, a historic sentence in New York.
I'm Jessica Ty. Classes resume after a deadly school shooting.
And some light flurries possible today. You might see some freezing drizzle. Be careful if you're on the roadways. AM and PM flurries. A high of 30 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 18. Mostly sunny on Saturday and a high of 28. 27 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 11:01 from the WTMJ Breaking News Room in New York.
This has been a very terrible experience. I think it's been a tremendous setback for New York and the New York court system.
President-elect Donald Trump receiving an unconditional discharge for falsifying business records at the sentencing in his hush money case in New York. Trump appearing virtually from his home in Florida at the hearing, once again denying any wrongdoing.
The fact is that I'm totally innocent. I did nothing wrong.
Ultimately, Judge Juan Merchan finding the sentence of unconditional discharge was the only possible ruling.
I imposed that sentence to cover all 34 counts. Sir, I wish you Godspeed as you assume your second term in office.
President-elect Trump will be inaugurated January 20th as the first U.S. president to enter the White House, a convicted felon.
In Madison.
As we face the return to school, our students will be back in the building. It will feel different. It will look different. It is different.
That's a message from the principal at Abundant Life Christian School, Principal Doug Butler. Students are back at school for the first time today since a shooting in December that killed 3 people, including the student shooter. 6 others were hurt. 2 students are still recovering at the hospital. Butler reminded students that new security measures are in place and that staff have been trained to provide trauma-informed care.
More details from the investigation into that shooting. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes confirming that while 2 guns were found at the scene, only one was used by 15-year-old Natalie Rupdow. But as for a motive...
Determining a motive is often a complex and challenging process. There can be multiple factors at play, and it is critical that we approach this investigation with the utmost care and thoroughness. We owe it to the victims and survivors of this tragedy to get this right.
The updates from Chief Barnes come weeks before he'll take over as Seattle's police chief. His last day in Madison is February 1st.
Bravo 311, we have pretty extensive damage to one of the buildings here.
Bravo 311, confirming you said to one of the buildings.
Affirm.
A car crashes into a building under construction at Brookfield Square. Happened just before 5 this morning near Moreland and Brookfield Square Drive. There's damage to the southeast corner of the building. No word yet on the condition of the driver. And a car drives into a lake in northeastern Wisconsin. Neenah police say the vehicle went off the road Thursday night and drove right into Lake Winnebago just south of Kimberly Point Park. The driver was not hurt, but the car remains in the water. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Not the best day to check your numbers here. The Dow currently down 736 points, a whopping
decrease here, down to 41,889. The NASDAQ also off big today, about 420 points at 19,065. S&P 500 off about 110 at 5810 and change. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. We're looking ahead to the Packers' first game in the playoffs. Stay with us. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:04.
This report sponsored by the Fireside Theater, the ultimate Elvis tribute musical.
Which one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready now, go cat go.
Elvis is back in the building at the Fireside Theater in Fort Atkinson, and you've never seen anything like it.
Since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell.
Back in the building features a rotating cast of the finest award-winning Elvis tribute artists and Anne Margaret, all backed by an incredible live band and ensemble. Experience the eras of Elvis in this legendary feel-good show. From the 50s to the movies, the 60s comeback to the rockin' 70s. It's all here. Every ticket to the Fireside includes a superb dinner prepared by award-winning chefs and a chance to visit their spectacular gift shops. Hurry, tickets are going fast. Call 920-563-9505 or visit firesidetheater.com. Elvis back in the building, live on stage, January 9th through February 23rd. Only at the Fireside Theater.
If you have the January blues, brighten up your weekend with a great fish fry tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club. WTMJ's John Merck here. I love the Fox and Hounds, and that cod fish fry is all you care to eat. All other dinners are buy one, get one free, including the pan-fried walleye and steak and lobster. Desserts, and I love the desserts, and huge ice cream drinks are buy one, get one free. Was just in the Fox and Hounds with my family. They absolutely loved it. Sip on an old-fashioned, a Manhattan. Choose from one of the bourbons or 100 fine wines. The Fox and Hounds, right in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest. It is a one-of-a-kind gem. The holiday decorations are still up. Thousands of lights, the Christmas characters. It's so much fun. And those 7 wood-burning fireplaces will keep you warm on a cold January night. Saturday, buy one prime rib dinner. Get one free. I recommend the Sunday brunch. Top Choice Award winner for Best Sunday Brunch. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Just off Highway 167 near the Holy Hill Shrine. Enjoy your free dinner this weekend. It's the Fox and Hounds.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Packers quarterback Jordan Love, a full participant at practice. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, a full participant at Eagles practice. Both starting quarterbacks appear ready to take the field Sunday in Philadelphia for the wild card round of the playoffs. Packers safety Xavier McKinney, very familiar with that environment at Lincoln Financial Field.
It's a tough environment. It's loud. Obviously, the fans are like super rowdy. You know, they got a good fan base. You know, they got fans that go hard for their team, and which they should. And it's a good environment for sure.
Sunday's game, a 3:30 kick. College football tonight in Dallas. Ohio State takes on Texas in a college football playoff semifinal. Winner advances to play Notre Dame in the championship game. And the Bucs look to make it 3 wins in a row tonight on the road in Orlando against the Magic. Coverage gets underway at 5:30 on WTMJ.
Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic. We're looking really good in the Milwaukee area right now. No crashes to let you know about, no disabled vehicles either. The only issues that we're seeing are out towards the Madison area. We do have in Dane County some knocking on the doors. US 51 North is closed beyond County B to County DM Ramsey Road because of a crash there. A couple disabled vehicles as well, but really, unless you're heading out to the Madison area, we're looking okay.
Chance of light snow, maybe some freezing drizzle. Be mindful of that if you're on the roadways. If stuff's not flying around or you don't see it sticking to the roadways, it could still be kind of slippery out. PM flurries expected tonight, a high of 30, low of 18. Mostly sunny on Saturday and a high of 28. Snow showers possible on Sunday with a high of 33. 27 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee. It's 11:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Well, here we go. You made it Friday. The Friday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. Greg and Jessica with you until 1 o'clock. Very busy day. Lots going on here. Big sports day as well with the Badgers in action, the Bucks in action, the Packers hurtling toward the playoffs, football weekend in front of us, and some big stories that we are following here at 11:09.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, President-elect Donald Trump becomes the first ex-president sentenced for a crime. He was sentenced this morning in the election interference case involving hush money payments to Stormy Daniels. The judge gave him unconditional discharge. What does that mean? CBS News legal contributor Caroline Posolini says it's not much of a punishment. Here's her take on the hearing.
You saw the prosecutor Steinglass just getting on the record Trump's disdain for the rule of law. But, we talk a lot about whether or not Trump is above the law. And I think today really solidified the fact that he is.
Quite the statement there. Trump appeared in court virtually from his Florida estate. He takes office again in just 10 days.
Number 2, at least 10 are dead and entire neighborhoods destroyed as distraught residents flee from the wildfire outbreak in Southern California. Calmer winds are predicted for SoCal later today and into the evening hours as thousands of firefighters from multiple states continue to battle the flames. ABC's Matt Gutman is in Pacific Palisades, where there is significant damage.
Fire officials say that they're going to be here for weeks, putting out hot spots. They're not sure when people will be able to go back to their homes. And the LAPD is telling me that they're going to start having to pick through debris because they believe there are still more fatalities here.
Curfews in place as police patrol for looters. Forecasters also keeping an eye on another potentially strong Santa Ana wind event next week that could exacerbate some flames. The newest blaze to break out in the Los Angeles area, the Kenneth Fire, now burning across 960 acres northeast of the city of Calabasas. None of that fire is contained. We'll go to California coming up at 11:37. A Burlington High School graduate and a name you might recognize, Caitlin Morale. She worked for Channel 4 as their morning traffic reporter for a number of years. She lives in Pacific Palisades. I don't know if she knows what her home looks like as of today.
And imagine, checking and wondering, asking the neighbors if the neighbors are there, checking your Ring cameras. It's just such a frightening situation there. Number 3, and happening now, the Supreme Court is hearing arguments on whether to overturn or delay a law that could lead to a ban on TikTok here in the U.S. The law is set to take effect in just 9 days. This is a case that pits the right to free speech against what the federal government says is a threat to national security posed by TikTok. Milwaukee influencer J-Matt is watching closely for a decision. A lot of his income is connected to TikTok.
Last year was my first year fully self-employed full-time, and I did the numbers to do taxes already, and I made 46% of my income from sponsored content. A lot of those sponsorships had TikTok involved.
46%. That's a big deal. J-Matt joined us right here on Wisconsin's Midday News this week. While he's watching closely for a decision, he is not sitting around. He's already making a plan B.
I have to assume that will in fact be banned, and what will I do to pivot to make sure that I'm able to bring in enough income to sustain my lifestyle?
The law would ban companies like Apple and Google from making downloads of the app available after January 19th unless TikTok's Chinese owner sells it. President-elect Donald Trump is asking the court to delay the ban to give him time to make a new deal. The Supreme Court is expected to make a decision quickly, so we'll be on top of it.
Coming up next, another way scammers are trying to get into your bank accounts. It's sneaky. We've got it after this.
Orlando, the most magical place on earth.
I'm going to Disney World!
And frankly, we agree.
Mickey Mouse!
Because the only world where you beat us is in a fairy tale. The Bucks waltz down to Orlando to take on the Magic.
Sends to Giannis down the lane. Look out! A thunderous two-hand slam from the Greek Freak.
Our Bucks Radio Game Day coverage starts tonight at 5:30. We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik, excited to get back to Potawatomi Sportsbook on Monday for our Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. We'll recap all the games really this weekend with a focus on the green and gold, as you'd imagine. I'll be with Gary Ellerson. You can hear our program 6 to 8 on 94.5 ESPN. If you've not been to the Sportsbook, boy, this weekend is a great time to check it out. Lots of football on this weekend, a lot of basketball tonight, and you can see it all on the 2,000 square foot video wall. It is a sight to behold. Never seen anything like it. especially here in Wisconsin. The best place to watch sports, quite simply, Potawatomi Sportsbook. The restaurant is great. Get some food from the kitchen. Enjoy whatever you'd like from that full-service bar, and have some fun with some friends hanging out at Potawatomi Sportsbook.
When you work at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, you'll be helping us help others. There are many that need our help, and we need your help to carry out our mission. St. Vincent de Paul is always looking for part-time team members. You'll get competitive pay, benefits, and flexibility in scheduling. So apply online at svdpmilw.org or stop by Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, or 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, Dan, another satisfied client.
Yeah?
Marlo just told me that having organized spaces has completely reset the tone of their household.
I bet they're easily finding what they need.
Yep, their shoes, their coats.
They can find their keys. They aren't tripping over toys.
Exactly, because everything has a place.
Changing lives one space at a time. Let us help you calm your chaos today at Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
A wife and husband team.
Might see some flurries today. There was some in the morning, especially out west. Not as much downtown. It could see some evening flurries as well. In between, it's going to warm up to about 32, so that might be a little more on the freezing drizzle side of things. So be mindful of that if you're out driving around today. High of about 32 degrees, overnight low of 20, back into the upper 20s, maybe low 30s on Saturday. Next chance of snow appears to be on Sunday. We'll get an idea of the timing of that with TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson coming up in about 10 minutes. It's 27 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee. So you get a text message on your phone. It's inviting, it's professional sounding, and it's alluring. Hey, I'm Emma from Global Recruitment. And all of a sudden, you've got the thoughts of a freelance job or a part-time job in your mind, but there is one catch. As soon as you start responding to those messages, you open up the door for information to be stolen. That is what is happening here. We talked about the 12 scams of Christmas during the holidays. Well, now people are after your money, luring you with a part-time job opportunity. Never to be fooled. It's ABC's Jim Ryan who joins us on the line right now. Hi, Jim.
Yeah, not yet anyway, but some of these things are really interesting and very convincing. Let's say you get a text message that purports to come from Target or from the recruiting department at Target, and they want you to come on board and work for them. And so you say, okay, fine. You reply to the text message. You go through an onboarding process during which you provide, obviously, your social security number and a way that people can pay you, direct deposit, that sort of thing. So staying on and providing information little by little by little helps them to build a real treasure chest of ways to rip you off. There are other ways that people are using these job recruiting scams as well, but they all start with a text message that comes to you that seems very legitimate, seems very appealing. Hey, I've got a job offer for you. Why don't you pursue it?
Is the sender targeting certain people? Because the thing that I think is interesting about this one, and it just goes to these scams being ever evolving, is that it talks about cryptocurrency.
Yes.
That's different.
Well, it is, yeah, and I mean, if you were, and so many of these scams in the past, right, Jessica, have dealt with older people, even retirees in a lot of cases. This one appears to target a completely different sort of audience. First of all, people who are looking for work. And if you're out of a job and your savings account is getting down to close to zero and you see this job offer come through your phone, great. You might be tempted to take it. Whereas if you were fully employed and doing okay, you wouldn't even think about it. But crypto is the way that people are doing this, because crypto is just about untraceable. So they might say to you, okay, as part of your onboarding here, what you're going to have to do is open up a crypto wallet, open up a crypto account so that we can pay you. You're also going to be putting into that account because we want you to do product reviews, for example, and you need to buy those products, of course, and so you'll buy the product, then we'll reimburse you, we'll give you money. So, and cryptocurrency, and if anybody's familiar with it, older folks might not be, but younger people are like, yeah, I've got kind of a passing knowledge of what crypto is, and it seems like a good deal. So it just adds to the air of believability, I think.
Preying on people at a time where their guard might be down, right? Just like we saw throughout the holidays.
Yeah, exactly. It's social engineering, looking for the person who is vulnerable, looking for the best way to reach out, contact that person, and then having the best setup to rip them off. New York State has managed to freeze one of these crypto wallets. It had $2.2 million in it that victims had lost. It was being forwarded on to the scammers. Well, the Attorney General in New York has put a freeze on that and has let the scammers know through an NFT in the account, you are being served with this, with civil papers because of what you're doing. What's more, the money is going back to the victim. So score one for the good guys.
Jim, I think a few weeks ago I got one of these, and I remember thinking a job offer. Well, I didn't apply for a job, so delete. I knew it was a scam, but just to show people how rampant this is, have you gotten any of these?
Oh, yeah. I get one or two a day, and I'm not looking for a job, but that's what they call it. It's called smishing. You know, it's like phishing, except you're using text messages, SMS messages. You cast a really wide net and hope that a few fish bite, and some fish are going to bite.
ABC's Jim Ryan is in Dallas, where the weather is also kind of nasty. It's a big story here, too, Jim. We're talking about weather and wildfires in California, and then the deep freeze here in the South. Last time I was in Texas and they had ice and snow was for Super Bowl 45. That was a disaster. There was sand all over the road. What is being done? Because there's a big football game just outside of Dallas tonight.
Well, at the same stadium where that Super Bowl was in 2011, at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington. People think that Dallas Cowboys play in Dallas. They've never played in Dallas. They've always played in either Irving, Texas, or now in Arlington, just FYI. But so, yeah, Ohio State fans are headed here from Ohio, and UT fans are headed up the Interstate 35 from Austin, about a 200-mile drive. And, yeah, I looked outside a minute ago, and we got ice and snow all over the place. So this could really be a tricky, tricky football game.
Yeah, a lot of flights canceled as well. ABC's Jim Ryan is on the scene in Dallas. We appreciate it, Jim. We'll check it again next week.
Thanks, Jim.
See you, Greg. See you, Jessica.
Yep, you bet. About that weather on the local side of things, we'll check in with Brendan Johnson, TMJ4 meteorologist, after this.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. But it's simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle until I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
By now, you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semperfi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semperfi.
Some flurries falling mainly out west this morning. I noticed that coming in from the burbs and could be on the way again tonight. What's in between? What is our next snow event? We welcome in Brendan Johnson, TMJ4 meteorologist. Hi, Brendan.
Yeah, hey guys, how's it going?
Hi, good. Well, words that always stand out to me in the forecast here, freezing drizzle. That's never a good thing for anybody.
No good.
Yeah, what are we looking at here later today?
Yeah, very, very slim chance that we could shake out a little bit of some freezing drizzle. It's what happens whenever we lose any of those ice crystals in the cloud. It's still super cold and there's still enough moisture, so you get these super cooled water droplets, usually on the front end or maybe even back end of some snow. And if there's just enough moisture, that can come down to the surface and unfortunately lead to some slick and slippery conditions. We're not seeing any widespread reports of that, but certainly a possibility here as these snow showers, which are currently centered over the city of Milwaukee, point south to Racine, Kenosha, start to move out of the area.
Was it Mother Nature who decided to call it snow showers? I'm just like, no, I just want snow or rain or a shower, not snow showers.
Yeah. I honestly just use it just to kind of showcase that it's going to be widespread. They come, they go. You get earlier today we had like kind of a couple bursts of snow, which led to that quick accumulation on some of the roadways far northwest of Milwaukee. And then the rest of, the area, even the metro, it kind of came down very slowly. It looked very pretty outside. A lot of it melted as soon as it hit the ground. So some kind of saw different variations of the snowfall, but all in all, not too terrible for a Friday in January.
I feel like this is one of those days with just a little bit of light snow falling that after work, Brendan, you're going to be like in a coffee shop having a little pumpkin spice latte if it's still available and looking at that light snowfall.
Yeah, if I was in Kenosha, maybe. I think a lot of this is going to come to a close here in the next couple of hours. If I could find a PSL, I would 100%. But
see, I knew.
I think I got to settle for these new winter weather or winter season drinks.
Brendan, what are we looking at this weekend? I see a decent chance maybe on Sunday is our next snowfall.
Yeah, we'll break up the clouds a little bit tomorrow. Temperatures still in the mid and upper 20s, so a mostly sunny to partly cloudy Saturday for you. But yeah, a Clipper system coming in on Sunday, driving in from the north and west. We're still closely monitoring the track of the system as of right now, trending a bit farther to the north, so folks in central northern Wisconsin could see anywhere between about maybe 2 to 3 inches of snowfall. Mainly 1 to 2 here in southeastern Wisconsin. As you get closer to the state line, that number does fall a bit. We'll continue to refine the projections here as we get closer, but some scattered snow showers starting tomorrow night, probably after 10 o'clock, continuing overnight into Sunday morning. So I do think as we wake up on our Sunday, there will be some snow falling, and we'll gradually see that subside into the afternoon. First part of Monday, there could be a few flurries for that Monday morning drive. Otherwise, cloudy, highs low 20s, and then Arctic cold gets in here Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. We're talking temperatures in the teens in the afternoon, morning lows in the single digits, guys. So after we get through this weekend, a little bit of an Arctic chill.
Brendan, real quickly, I know your focus is always here in southeastern Wisconsin, but you do tend to look at the wider map as well. When we look at California, how is the weather impacting the fires now? Is there any relief in sight?
Yeah, so that, unfortunately, not necessarily the case. I'm going to tell you right now, they have not had as brutal winds as they had when this all got started just a couple days ago. You remember those 70, 80 mile per hour Santa Ana winds. Yeah. We still do have some breezy conditions there in Southern California. Red flag warnings continue for much of the Los Angeles area down towards the Baja Peninsula. So unfortunately, there's still some breezy conditions. They've had some breaks every time they get into the overnight. It does seem like those winds come down, so those crews are able to get out and kind of tackle some of these fires. But we're still looking at some pretty breezy conditions today and even into tomorrow as well. So they're keeping those red flag warnings going through 6 p.m. tonight. Still could be breezy over the weekend. I'm really hoping the winds die down enough so they can get things under control here over the next couple of days.
TMJ4's Brendan Johnson. We appreciate it, Brendan. Have a great weekend.
Yep. Take care, guys.
You bet. 27 degrees here at WTMJ.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Eric Bilstead. As we ring in 2025, are you heading into the new year with the same old joint pain? It's time to make a resolution, to get moving again. No more achy joints for your knees, your hips, shoulders, or your back. You're going to call QC Kinetics in 2025, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine and joint preservation. Got locations in Greenfield and Mequon under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Ashley Caravelli. Yes, you can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine using an array of natural solutions. So many of your neighbors here in Milwaukee are living life again without the constant pain in their joints. Here's what you do. Resolve to get lasting relief in 2025. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today. Happy New Year.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
It's 11:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, January 10th. Your top story, conditional release set in the Slender Man case.
I'm Jessica Ty. A manhunt ends in central Wisconsin.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President-elect Trump appeared virtually for his New York hush money trial sentencing today after requests to block the hearing were rejected by the Supreme Court. Trump was convicted last year of falsifying business records related to payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels to keep an affair from the public during his 2016 campaign. Judge Juan Merchan imposed an unconditional discharge at sentencing Friday morning with no jail time.
At this time, I impose that sentence to cover all 34 counts. Sir, I wish you Godspeed as you assume your second term in office.
Earlier, Trump addressed the court and denied any wrongdoing, calling it a witch hunt. Winds easing a bit today in Southern California. Fire crews still battling multiple wildfires and hot spots, and the Santa Ana winds expected to pick up again in the coming week. A major winter storm crippling parts of the South and Mid-Atlantic. Icy roads and winds knocking out power. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:31. Happening in Waukesha.
I'm satisfied that by clear and convincing evidence that under the current set of circumstances, Ms. Geiser does not pose a significant risk of bodily harm to herself or others or of serious property damage.
A judge grants conditional release for Morgan Geiser from a mental health facility. Geiser, now 22, was 12 years old when she and Anissa Wire lured their friend, 12-year-old Peyton Leitner, into a wooded park before stabbing her 19 times to please the fictional character Slender Man. Leitner survived. Geiser and Wire both pleaded guilty to attempted intentional homicide in 2018 and were committed to state mental health supervision. Wire was granted conditional release in 2021.
New details now about the end of a manhunt. 47-year-old Virgil Thu was arrested a little after noon yesterday in the city of Elroy. We now know police got a call about a suspicious individual who was later identified as Thu. Thu faces 3 counts of first-degree intentional homicide in the deaths of his girlfriend, 33-year-old Elizabeth Kolba, and 2 girls, a 13-year-old and a 12-year-old. The 3 were found dead in a home in New Lisbon on December 30th.
The first deadly shooting of 2025 in Milwaukee. An 18-year-old shot near 60th and Sheridan Avenue about 5:15 Thursday evening, later died at the hospital. Police are still investigating the circumstances leading up to the shooting.
The name of the suspect was just unsealed in the case of a child killed in Chippewa Falls. The suspect's name is Carson Peters Berger. Investigators say he was 14 years old when he killed 10-year-old Lily Peters in 2022. Her body was found near a walking trail the day after her family reported her missing. Peters Berger has been charged with 3 felonies, including first-degree intentional homicide, first-degree sexual assault, and first-degree sexual assault of a child younger than 13. He's being tried as an adult.
planning a memorial for the victim of a gruesome homicide.
A resolution would create a memorial for Sade Robinson at Wernimont Park in Cudahy. That's where the 19-year-old college student's severed leg was found in April, before additional remains and Robinson's burnt-out car were discovered in the days and weeks to come. The price tag for the memorial is $7,000. If the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors approves it, the Parks Department will work with the Milwaukee Parks Foundation, Robinson's family, and community leaders to design it. The accused killer, 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson, is awaiting trial in May. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 11:34.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your fourth quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. And it's free for you to view. Call 844-763-2837 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today, 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, cold tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Jordan Love, a full participant at Packers practice. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, a full participant at Eagles practice. Both starting quarterbacks appear in line to start Sunday in Philadelphia, the wild card round of the playoffs. Sunday's game, a 3:30 kick from Lincoln Financial Field. College football tonight in Dallas. Ohio State takes on Texas in a college football playoff semifinal. Winner advances to play Notre Dame in the championship game a week from Monday. The Bucs look to make it 3 in a row tonight in Orlando against the Magic. Coverage begins at 5:30 on WTMJ. And in college basketball, the Badgers take on Minnesota tonight at the Kohl Center for a 6 o'clock tip. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
Let's get an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. We're doing really well so far. In fact, you have to go out to the Dane County area and Columbia County to find any issues. Columbia County, US 51 North is closed beyond County V to County DM. That's the Ramsey Road area because of a crash. Happened around 10:40 this morning, and it's still out there. US 51 North closed beyond County V to County DM.
Chance of light snow, mainly in the northern areas here. Looks like, as I'm looking at the radar here in the map, PM flurries expected, a high of 30 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 18. Mostly sunny on Saturday, and a high of 28. Next chance of snow appears to be on Sunday. Mostly cloudy and a high of 33. 27 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 11:38. So Pacific Palisades is a coastal town. It lies between Malibu and Santa Monica, west of downtown Los Angeles. And the overwhelming majority of homes and businesses in this densely populated area destroyed by the Palisades fire. the satellite imagery is unbelievable. I mean, it shows widespread devastation all along the coast, and it points inland of the coast.
It's unbelievable to see these pictures. It's not just homes that are destroyed. In one case, you can have a family whose house was burned to the ground, who also has children whose school was burned to the ground. Their grocery store is no longer there. These lives just completely flipped.
Of all the wildfires currently raging in that area, the Palisades one is the most significant. Together with the Eaton fire, this comprises nearly all of the burned acreage of those fires. Nearly every single building, every single street is burned down. Some homes were spared, and that is unbelievable in and of itself, given what we've seen here. Burlington High School graduate and former TMJ4 News morning traffic reporter Caitlin Morale, she lives in Pacific Palisades, and she was forced to evacuate with her family earlier this week. We were connecting via text a couple of days ago, and at that point, she didn't know what the status of her home was. Caitlin joins us on the line right now. Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Greg.
Well, I'm glad to hear your voice. I'm glad that you're safe, that you and your husband and young family are doing okay. I know you had to evacuate. Do you know the status of your home as of right now?
We do. We are incredibly fortunate. Our entire street looks untouched.
Oh, wow.
The houses, so Pacific Palisades has really interesting topography. There's different areas. Some are up in the mountains. We live right in the Santa Monica mountain range, and that's called the Highlands. That's actually where the fire started, and that's where I live. The fire started 3 blocks south of my house, but because the way the winds go through the canyons, it's almost like it creates a tunnel, and the wind took the fire down toward our village, and then the second day it circled back up to the Highlands. My house is kind of built into a hill, and the community directly above my house, the subdivision directly above my house, is largely leveled. Even the houses, I have a retaining wall in my backyard, and there is a house immediately above the retaining wall. So like the trees in my backyard, they probably can see the top of them from this house. That house burned to the ground. My house is still there.
Wow, thank goodness for that. How are you keeping tabs on the house, though? Are there some neighbors who stayed there? Or are you keeping tabs on it from cameras at the home? And what is that feeling like as you either make those phone calls or you log in to see the cameras and see if your house is still standing?
So our Ring cameras went offline really early in this situation. We left our home just before 11 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, and my Ring camera went offline by about 1:30, and I think that's because of the type of internet connection that we have. I think the fiber optic cables were burned, but we had some neighbors who had Ring cameras on a different internet provider that was buried cables, and they were still able to see theirs. Now, here's the thing, like you were talking about, there's like some houses that are burned to the ground and the house next door is untouched. So my neighbors were telling me, oh, it's, nothing on our Ring cameras, but they live 5 to 6 houses away from me. So I kind of didn't know necessarily what was going on at my house. We did get a little glimmer of hope on, was it Wednesday? There was a news helicopter flying over our neighborhood, and we did get a quick glimpse of our house. So we knew at that point it was okay. And then yesterday, our very next door neighbor, he actually snuck up. We have what's called a fire road, and it's a road that's in the canyon that's a fire access road so firefighters can fight wildfires. He went up at about 5 a.m. and snuck through on the fire road to check on our houses.
So, Caitlin, I have a friend who lives in Laurel Canyon, right? So that area of the Hollywood Hills. And he sent me a video. You could see flames from where his place in the hills was perched. You had to evacuate to a nearby town. Were you watching the area where you live literally burn? Could you see that the flames and the fires were still raging while you were, trying to find safety?
So the first place we evacuated was to a beach club down on Pacific Coast Highway. And we got to the parking lot, and there is a direct view of Palisades Highlands. And at that point, I pretty much assumed everything I knew was gone. We keep evacuation bags at our house. We more started doing that because of earthquake threat. And we've had to evacuate for wildfires a couple of times, but it's usually a little more controlled than this was, where we could kind of sit, okay, is it time to go yet? Have a little more time to grab extra things. We have a list, like a list of things to grab on the way out, things that you can't keep packed all the time. And the winds were like nothing I ever have seen in California on Tuesday. When we opened the garage to start loading up the cars, it had been garbage day, and the trash cans from everybody's house were just scattered all over the street because the winds were blowing so hard.
Caitlin, what is your emotional state like? Because I love all these details you're giving us, but I cannot imagine being there. You're so lucky that you have your home. So many other people don't, but I imagine this has to, and especially in those first days, I mean, Tuesday, as you were leaving, had to be so scary.
It was so scary. My son goes to school in Santa Monica, so I knew he was safe. That helped the situation a little bit and gave us a little bit of time to process our own emotions without having to parent and stay strong for your child's emotional state. But that was a whirlwind. Right now, it's a little more controlled, but it comes in waves. I'm so happy our home is there, but I also know we won't be able to live there for quite some time. There's smoke damage, there's ash. The community around us looks like a war zone, and think about all the things that burned, all the things that are in the air right now. As you mentioned earlier, 2 grocery stores are leveled. There's no library. Our schools are gone. Like I said, fortunately, my son's school is not gone because he's in Santa Monica, but the elementary school that he just finished attending in 5th grade is burned to the ground. I also, go through waves of feeling guilty that we still have our belongings, we still have our home, because most everybody I know, save for two friends, still have a house. But otherwise, every other friend I have, every other person I know lost their home.
Caitlin Morale, Pacific Palisades resident and Wisconsin native, joining us on the line here from California. You mentioned you don't think you'll be able to get back into your home for quite some time. I'd imagine that even though structurally things are sound, that there is the level of damage you talked about on the interior with smoke and ash and who knows what else. It could have affected your belongings. Do you have any sense, Caitlin, when you might be able to at least get back inside the walls of your home and determine if that will be your future home?
Yeah, we're hopeful. We're hopeful to just get back and get more belongings out in the next couple of days. It does sound like they've brought National Guard in now for checkpoints, though, because I think they're seeing that, one, people are sneaking up into the homes, and it's not safe yet. There's still spot fires up there. Even our neighbor who did go up yesterday, he said there was a fire in his backyard and in our backyard when he got there. And the other issue we're dealing with is the water pressure problem. So because I mentioned that we live at the top of the canyon, you have an elevation issue. So because they utilize so much water in the village, we don't have water pressure in the Palisades Highlands right now. So they're bringing water up in fire trucks and tanker trucks. So there's still spot fires. He noticed there were 2 fires in our backyards. He put them out with milk, juice, and soda from from his refrigerator. Thank goodness he was there. Because that could have gotten out of hand fast. So that's the other thing, is we don't necessarily know. Right now our home is safe, but we don't know what tomorrow brings because there's still spot fires up there. So they did bring in the National Guard to try and tamp down some of the people sneaking up there to get to their homes, because it's just simply not safe right now. But I think our first step is getting belongings out of there. And then today our plan was kind of to figure out, okay, we can't stay at a hotel forever. Where are we going to go next? Where can we kind of post up until we can assess damage, until insurance can assess damage? And also, like I said, that, much of the village is gone. So are we just living in this desolate place? Is it livable sustainably, to be there without grocery stores and without, obviously we're in Los Angeles, so you can find those things, but is it better for us to be in a different area?
So many tough decisions. As you look forward to the future, you do have your home still, but, and I don't just mean the weeks and the months to come, but overall, as you look at what happened to California and how the state has dealt with these fires as well, having lived in Wisconsin, is California in this area still a place that you want to continue to make your life?
We love California, and the sad part is the reason we love California so much is because of Pacific Palisades. Pacific Palisades, I always joke, is like a Midwestern town in the middle of Los Angeles. Everybody knows everybody. You go to the grocery store, you always see somebody you know. Your kids neighbors, they come and knock on the door and they go play in the street for 4 hours. It's a really quaint, welcoming, warm community. It has some very special traditions. The Little League is incredibly special. There's a karate dojo. My son just got his black belt this summer, but the sensei has been in business for over 40 years in the Palisades. He's a staple. These mom and pop businesses that have been here forever. It's a town that's been in existence for over 100 years. So it's really difficult to think about living here and not having Pacific Palisades. But, we'll kind of take that as we go.
Caitlin, I'm so thankful that you're okay, that you and your family are doing okay. I know you have a lot of big decisions to make, and certainly these fires still rage on, and there is more damage that will certainly be uncovered, and hopefully the death toll stays low here. But it's a challenging situation, and we're wishing you the best, and really appreciate your perspective today.
Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you reaching out.
We'll stay in touch, Caitlin. Thank you.
Thank you.
11:49 on WTMJ. That's Caitlin Morale. You might remember her. She was on TMJ4 News, a morning traffic reporter. Grew up in the Burlington area, so moved out to California maybe about 10 years ago with her husband, Jay. Had their first son out there as well. Glad she's okay, but I don't know if I could move back into the house. I just thinking like on a personal level with all the destruction around me, all your things that you love about your town are literally wiped away. I don't know how you do it. There's some big decisions for many to make out in that area.
And just because her house is there doesn't mean the community is. School's gone, grocery store's gone, gas station's gone in some cases. So you can't just live solo in your one spot. So big decisions ahead.
Yeah, good perspective. If you missed any of that interview or want to catch it in its entirety, make sure to subscribe to the podcast, Wisconsin's Midday News podcast, built by Siding, Unlimited Siding, and a whole lot more. You can also text the word Midday to our talk and text line, which I forgot, 866. Well, what is our text line? Now I forgot our numbers. Sometimes I can do the ESPN programs and I screw up the phone numbers here.
855-616-1620.
Yeah, why don't you send it to that? 855-616-1620. I almost gave the ESPN numbers. I don't know where that would take you. It's 11:50. I'll get my bearings straight here after this.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree. What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited. 4-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows, you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
Push 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready now. Go, cat, go.
Elvis is back in the building at the Fireside Theater in Fort Atkinson, and you've never seen anything like it.
Since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell.
Back in the Building features a rotating cast of the finest award-winning Elvis tribute artists and Anne Margaret, all backed by an incredible live band and ensemble. Experience the eras of Elvis in this legendary feel-good show. From the 50s to the movies, the 60s comeback to the rockin' 70s. It's all here.
Oh, see, right.
Every ticket to the Fireside includes a superb dinner prepared by award-winning chefs and a chance to visit their spectacular gift shops. Hurry, tickets are going fast. Call 920-563-9505 or visit firesidetheater.com. Elvis back in the building, live on stage, January 9th through February 23rd. Only at the Fireside Theater.
Start the new year right with Norwalk Furniture on sale now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 35% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options and comfort levels From cuddling to extra firm support, Norwalk Furniture's American roots go back over 102 years. For better quality American-made upholstery, shop the Norwalk Upholstery Sale at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown. Better days start with a better night's sleep on a mattress from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in Milwaukee, our mattresses are custom built to your needs. We have all the comfort and firmness options to give you your best night's rest. Buying direct from our factory showrooms will save you up to 50% compared to national brands. Shop today during our New Year's sale at Ken Michaels Furniture for over 75 years of uncompromising quality, local factory direct saving, and your best night's sleep.
Historic wildfires in Southern California, a U.S. president laid to rest, and another set to enter the White House as a felon. All that and more. It's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back. The kick on the way by Santos, and it is good! The Bears' losing streak comes to an end.
Your new Miss America is Alabama, Abby Stocker!
Mandy Genord crushed it. Mandy's with us from Florida.
I will say the stage lights are pretty bright, so I couldn't see many people in the audience, which I think was a consolation for my nerves.
The Senate and House of Representatives are meeting in joint session.
Vice President Harris, serving in her role as President of the Senate, stood before a full House chamber as the electoral votes from each of the states were read aloud. The final word came from her.
Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau plans to announce his resignation.
Removing the contention around my own continued leadership is an opportunity to bring the temperature down.
Suspect shot by Milwaukee police during an overnight struggle.
While communicating with the suspect pulled out a firearm. One officer discharged his firearm, striking the suspect.
Between 2022 and 24, crime declined in the city of Milwaukee by 12%.
Many of those homicides were a kid with a handgun, unfortunately using it against another child. Absolutely preventable and absolutely unacceptable.
A milestone birthday for someone who some would say is still alive.
You know the name. You know the voice. You even know the wardrobe. He's the king, Elvis Presley.
A little less conversation, a little more action.
He had a great ambition, he had a great voice, and he wanted to sing everything.
California's Pacific Palisades neighborhood has been ravaged by fast-moving wildfires.
Historic winds and extensive drought have created a perfect storm that has driven people from their homes.
One of the worst I have ever seen, if not the worst.
President Biden on Wednesday approved a major disaster declaration for California.
We would love to help out, but at this point, there's nothing we can do. And it does feel helpless when you're watching it burn and there's just nothing you can do.
If anybody has a car and they leave their car, leave the keys in the car. So that we can move your car so that these fire trucks can get up Palisades Drive.
Thank you for talking to us live, sir. What's your name?
My name is Steve Gutenberg.
Hello, I'm
Steve Gutenberg.
You may remember me from such movies as
3 Men and a Baby
and
Cocoon.
You're an actor.
Yeah, I'm an actor.
Okay, now you look familiar. You look familiar to me now.
I was always a Cocoon guy. I loved that movie as a kid.
Green over Wemby. Knocks it home.
Has the three-point competition been announced yet?
Not yet.
If he's not in it, it would be criminal.
Live in Washington, looking at a procession now as former President Jimmy Carter's casket is taken from the Capitol Rotunda where he lied in state, and he will soon be on his way. The casket will to the National Cathedral.
He waged peace anywhere in the world, wherever he saw a chance.
We now go live to Washington, D.C., to the state funeral where President Biden is set to give his eulogy.
I miss him, but I take solace in knowing that he and his beloved Rosalind are reunited again.
Breaking news right now, there's currently an increased law enforcement presence in the city of Elroy. This is connected to the investigation of Virgil Thu. The breaking news, Virgil Thu apprehended and is in custody.
It's breaking news on a big story in southeast Wisconsin. A judge granting conditional release for Morgan Geyser.
Ms. Geyser does not pose a significant risk of bodily harm to herself or others.
A historic sentence in New York.
This has been a very terrible experience. The fact is that I'm totally innocent. I did nothing wrong.
This court has determined that the only lawful sentence is an unconditional discharge. Sir, I wish you Godspeed as you assume your second term in office.
What are we, gay?
I was always a cocoon guy. God bless you, Jimmy Carter.
I wish you Godspeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. And they're the best. Let them make outdoor living unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Elizabeth and John bought their starter home 8 years ago, BC, as in before children. Now, with 2 elementary school-age kids, they wanted to make a move to the suburbs for a bigger home with more yard. But they didn't know if or how they could buy their next home without selling their current one. Fortunately, a friend who was a multi-time AccuNet client connected them with us, and we soon determined they could, in fact, afford to buy without selling first, which was a big relief to them and their real estate agent. Armed with an AccuNet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval, it still took several weeks to find the right home for the next chapter in their life. But I'm happy to report that Elizabeth, John, and their boys opened their presents on Christmas morning in their new home after closing just a few days before. Whether you're buying your first home or your next home, go with the pros who have all the tools and know-how to make your home buying experience as smooth and successful as humanly possible. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true. But offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people, but the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Rich Lawns.
The Bucks are about to mystify the Magic in Orlando.
There's Andre Jackson slapping the ball out to Lillard. He'll drive inside, corkscrewing down low on the handoff to Giannis, who stuffs it down with one hand.
Our coverage begins tonight at 5:30 on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm Greg Nansick. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, January 10th. Your top story, sentenced virtually in New York.
I'm Jessica Ty. Updates about the school shooting in Madison.
Chance of light snow today, PM flurries and a high of 30. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 18. Sunny on Saturday and a high of 28. 27 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:03. President-elect Trump sentenced in his New York hush money case. The case was closed without the judge imposing a fine or any jail time. Trump now intends to appeal.
All right. The hearing lasted roughly 30 minutes. Prosecutor Joshua Steinglass went first.
The defendant has purposefully bred disdain for our judicial institutions and the rule of law.
Appearing on screen via video conference, Trump responded.
I'm totally innocent. I did nothing wrong.
Pointing to the extraordinary legal protections afforded to sitting presidents, Judge Juan Merchan closed the case by unconditionally discharging Trump. He wished Trump Godspeed as he assumes his second term. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News.
New details about the shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison. Police Chief Sean Barnes says 21 shell casings were found. He also confirmed 2 guns were found, but 15-year-old Natalie Rupno only used one of them during the December shooting. Investigators are still trying to pinpoint where the guns were purchased. Chief Barnes outlines what police are reviewing now to determine the motive.
The suspect was very active online and on social media. We're currently looking at her online activity to better understand why this attack happened.
A student and teacher were both killed, 14-year-old Ruby Vergara and 42-year-old Erin Michelle West. The shooter is also dead. 6 others were hurt. 2 students who are still in the hospital have been upgraded to fair condition. Students return to classes at Abundant Life Christian School today. And coming up now at noon, we'll detail the new security measures in place.
In Brookfield,
Bravo 311, we have pretty extensive damage to one of the buildings here.
Bravo 311, confirming you said to one of the buildings.
A car crashes into a building under construction at Brookfield Square Mall. Happened just before 5 o'clock this morning near Moreland and Brookfield Square Drive. Police report a child in the car was transported to the hospital as a precaution, but no one was seriously injured. The vehicle has been removed from the scene. The driver cited for inattentive driving.
Today, the Supreme Court justices are considering a last-ditch effort to block a law that would ban TikTok in just over a week unless its Chinese-based parent company sells its stake. ABC's Terry Moran.
Even liberal justices like Elena Kagan and Ketanji Brown Jackson have been exploring how far the Supreme Court wants to go in refereeing the national security of the United States as defined by Congress and the president. So I'd be nervous if I were TikTok, but those free speech arguments, they are very strong as well.
The federal government is citing national security concerns as the reason for the ban.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Believe it or not, this is an improvement. The Dow is still down about 630 points. That's better than it was about an hour ago. 42,007 for the Dow today. NASDAQ off about 300 points. That's also an improvement at 19,180. S&P 500 down about 80 points at 5835. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite, financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
What to expect for the Packers playoff game on Sunday. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:06.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump. But be assured, that's the goal. To do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action. And the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different. But one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy, and it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Jordan Love, a full participant at Packers practice. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, the same at practice in Philly. Both starting quarterbacks appear set to take the field Sunday in Philadelphia for the wild card round of the playoffs. That's a 3:30 kick from Philadelphia. College football tonight, Ohio State takes on Texas in a college football playoff semifinal. Winner advances to play Notre Dame in the championship game. And the Bucs look to make it 3 in a row tonight in Orlando against the Magic. Coverage gets underway at 5:30.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We do have 2 new issues that just popped up in the Milwaukee area. I-94 East at the ramp from 25th Street. That's the St. Paul Avenue spot as well. Right lane is blocked right now due to a crash. I-94 East at the ramp from 25th Street. And then also Wisconsin 175 South at the ramp from State Street over in the Tosa area. Right lane is blocked because of some debris, so they've got to clean that up. Once again, Wisconsin 175 South at the ramp from State Street. Right lane is blocked. Watch out. There's some debris on the road.
Flurries are possible tonight, a high of 30 degrees, partly cloudy tonight and a low of 18, mostly sunny on Saturday and a high of 28. Snow returns possibly on Sunday with a high of 33. 27 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:10.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
So there was an incident toward the back end of the 11 o'clock hour.
I could look at your face and know you were going to spill this secret.
It'll likely end up in the podcast here. A reminder to check out our Wisconsin's Midday News podcast, built by Siding Unlimited. I was struggling through the phone number because I do a number of shows on ESPN Milwaukee and, of course, hosting the Midday show with you. And sometimes I get the phone number screwed up. And I could sense I was on a path to deliver the ESPN number for our WTMJ listeners, and that would have been a no-no.
And I could sense you were going down the wrong path, and I was like, wait, where is he going? So I was trying to help out.
Well, and that's what you are. You are a very helpful person. So you're trying to dig me out of my brain fog. Jessica grabbed her big binder and portfolio so she could lift it in the air to see the phone number and let's make sure we're on track. And in the process, she lost a bunch of papers and spilled her coffee. It's a tragic scene here in the studio.
And I had just gotten the coffee.
It was warm. It
was
smelled
warm.
nice.
It was hot. It was caffeinated.
Yeah. Sorry.
But here's the thing. I am well on our way to cleaning it all up.
Luckily, there's a Walgreens connected to our 3rd Street Market Hall. I think they have carpet cleaner. I'm going to check that out either during a break or after the show.
And the crazy thing is I'm the person who, when we were getting our carpets cleaned, is like, somebody spilled something in here. Could we get that cleaned up? And they did. And then now I spill.
Well,
but I'm cleaning it up. I'm not leaving that stain. I don't know who did that.
I will clean it up. I'm going to blame this all on me. This would not have happened if it weren't for my brain fog.
No.
12:12 and WTMJ. We are on top of some big stories here as we flip to the noon hour on a Friday.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Classes are back in session today at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison for the first time since a deadly shooting there in December. 15-year-old Natalie Ruppnow killed a student and a teacher before turning the gun on herself. Principal Doug Butler on the new security measures in place.
There are security changes, both seen and unseen. We have also been trained to offer trauma-informed care to our students and to recognize trauma in ourselves.
Class is resuming just one day after Madison police provided more details about the shooting, including that 21 shell casings were found at the scene. Police are still reviewing evidence to determine the motive.
As enormous swaths of the L.A. area continue to be ravaged by a series of wildfires burning out of control, many Californians find themselves without adequate insurance to cover a potential rebuild. California insurance officials telling residents whose homes were damaged or destroyed not to sign anything when dealing with public adjusters. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis.
Right now, the estimates for the insured losses here are in excess of $20 billion in insured losses. That means the cost of improving that community going forward is going to be exorbitant. And on top of that, natural disasters are more and more common, and more of these businesses, these insurers, are pulling out.
Yeah, State Farm, AIG, Allstate, they've all stopped writing homeowner policies in California because of wildfire danger. According to a report issued by J.P. Morgan earlier this week, the insured losses stemming from the Palisades fire alone will approach $10 billion.
Wow. A Waukesha County judge grants conditional release for one of the young stabbers in the Slender Man case. Now the work begins to set up a plan for Morgan Geyser. This is a case that caught the world's attention. Remember this? I mean, it was a local case. We couldn't believe it here, but people around the world were keeping tabs on this. The 22-year-old was just 12 when she and another girl, Anissa Wire, lured their friend into the woods in Waukesha and stabbed her 19 times. The victim shockingly survived. Geyser was the mastermind of the gruesome stabbing, a plan to appease the fictional character known as Slender Man. Geyser was found not guilty by reason of mental disease back in 2018, and at that point, you remember, she was committed to a mental health institute for a maximum of 40 years. But a judge and a panel of doctors yesterday agreed to her early release. This is the fourth time that she asked for it, so that was kind of one of those things, she kept going back. Well, now she gets it. A plan that focuses on housing, continued health care for her, and supervision should be ready for consideration in the next 60 days. The other young attacker was granted conditional release in 2021.
Coming up next, how students in the Sussex-Hamilton district are grieving just over 1 week after one of their classmates died in a bus accident. We'll have it after this.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. I've got a great idea for your weekend. Hang out with me for a little bit on Experience Wisconsin. It's at 1 o'clock every Saturday. We will spin around the state, check in with some of the cool places and people that make Wisconsin such a fun place to live. This week on the show, it's going to be pretty cool. It's Elkhart Lakes, Road America, and Hayward Lakes. It's fun. It's informative. It's a lot of great stuff. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1 right here on 620 WTMJ. Won't you join us? It's Experience Wisconsin.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why, through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now, the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
New Year's resolution, finally do something about that old garage door. Vince Vitrano for Lifetime Door Company. Time to give the biggest door to your home the look, style, and function it demands. Our holiday guests, first thing they say when they walk in, wow, that new garage door looks really nice. Lifetime also installed a new opener. So quiet, LED lights, camera equipped. You can even run it from an app on your phone. To help fit your budget through January, tell them Vinny sent you. They'll knock 5% off the total purchase on all service and installation. Get started at lifetimedoor.net.
Greg and Jessica with you. Hope your Friday is going all right. It's Wisconsin's Midday News till 1 o'clock. In August of 2008, the Lutheran Church Charities launched its Canine Comfort Dog Ministry Program, Therapy Dogs. The program embraces the unique and calming nature and skills of purebred golden retrievers. The goal is to assist in the healing process for those who are grieving. Well, throughout the week, therapy dogs have been on site at several schools in the Sussex-Hamilton School District. Just over a week ago, a 5-year-old boy died outside of Silver Spring Intermediate School after being struck by a bus. Just a horrific accident.
Terrible.
Kids were back at school on Monday of this week, and therapy dogs were right there with them. And so is Becky Kilvinger, who serves as a handler. And Becky joins us on the line right now. Hi, Becky.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Are you doing so well? I'm so curious about this program and fascinated by it. And it's usually something that occurred in a neighborhood or a community that is tragic. So you're always going into a scene where folks are grieving. This has been a challenging week, I'm sure, for many in the Sussex-Hamilton district, including our family, to be perfectly candid. What was it like for you to step in with your therapy dogs and greet students this week?
Well, it was needed. We saw when the children walked in the building some pretty sad and stoic faces. And I would say this even passes, obviously, to the staff and administration of that district. And it was a surprise, a good surprise, for those kids to see these dogs, and the stoic and sad faces changed to big smiles. And that obviously warms our hearts, and that's kind of why we serve.
It's one thing to see the kids' faces change. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? But do you get feedback from the district after this? What are they saying about how much these dogs are helping?
We've gotten several comments from the principals of the schools saying how they, as humans, we always want to fix something, right? And in these situations, we can't always fix it as humans. And when we bring those dogs in, they bridge that gap to having open, honest conversations, having, letting their feelings have a safe space, non-judgmental, to happen. Sometimes it's big tears. Sometimes it's the kids sharing the stories with the dogs. We find that people, big kids, little kids, adults, often talk to the dogs first before they talk to the humans. And we think that's because, they are obviously good and snuggly to pet and to snuggle with, and but they're not going to judge. They're not going to talk back. They're not going to offer their opinion. And that's a huge reason these dogs are so critical after crisis and during these healing processes.
My daughters were elated. They were thrilled. They got a business card from the dogs, right? Each dog had their own business card, which I think is just fascinating. We're a dog family, Becky. Like, we have a greyhound. He is loving. He is wonderful. Golden retrievers are certainly, by all accounts, a family-friendly breed. Not everybody's a dog person, though. How do you work around those sorts of things? Or do you find that in most situations, even though they may not be a dog family, they're still so intrigued and pleased with what they're seeing?
100%. People see the dogs, and it kind of stops them in their tracks. And even though maybe they're not a dog person, they will come up and pet the dog and say hi. And we've encountered people who are fearful of dogs, at first glance. And eventually, we found that people are walking over by the end of our encounter and our visit, and doing little pets on the dog's ears or the top of their head. And so we find that dog people, non-dog people, everyone enjoys this in some capacity.
How do these dogs get certified to be a therapy dog?
So these dogs are the Comfort Dogs based out of Norfolk, Illinois, and they start once they're selected by the staff, the training staff down there. They start their training as soon as 8 weeks, and they work and work and work on all of their skills, knowing 30, 35 plus commands that do their job. They don't know tricks. They do know commands that help us do our job, and sometimes even get to doing our job, whether it's a car ride or other kinds of transportation. And that training continues for about 2,000 hours until the dog is ready to be placed in the churches in communities across the nation.
So, Becky, I was hopeful to have you in one of the dogs or a couple of the dogs in today, but the dogs are working. They seem to have a busy schedule. Are they still in the Hamilton district today?
They are. They are at the administration building, working with the staff administration for the entire district this morning. And then we've been invited back next week to do a couple more visits within the district.
So a busy schedule. And does the district reach out to you? Do you make contact with outside entities? How does it work? How does the partnership occur?
So we usually find that the door's open for us. We never go where we're not invited. We don't force ourselves upon anyone. We always want to be invited where we go. And we had one of our team members, her daughter actually goes to the school, and she was in the parking lot because she happened to have off that day. And she obviously knows firsthand the effects being part of our team. And she knows the staff and administration, and she walked in and offered it, and they reached out right away.
Well, it's incredible to see the smile on my daughter's faces, and I'm sure others throughout the school. I got some great pictures that they were able to take as these golden retrievers were present in many of the schools in the Hamilton district 1 week after a 5-year-old boy was killed by a bus. Just a tragic accident, and the entire community is certainly grieving. And Becky, I think that this kind of thing is uplifting, even for a moment. This level of putting a smile on the face of kids and even administrators and faculty. It's such amazing work.
Well, thank you. We love it. The smiles and the we love the comments, and we love all of that, and that's why we serve, and that's why we go out and we continue this super important work.
I always find it amazing how much just, a quick little pet of the dog, whether it's for an adult or a kid, how much that can just soothe and calm people. It's amazing.
Well, there's studies out there from like the American Heart Association and, medical studies about the presence of a dog and the positive effects that it has on humans, lower blood pressure, lower heart rates, all of that stuff, the stress levels, everything comes down when you're in the presence of a dog.
Becky Kilvinger is one of the handlers of the dogs from Lutheran Church Charities on site throughout the Hamilton district all week long, helping a community grieve and move forward. Becky, we appreciate your time. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for your work.
Thanks, Becky.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You do the same. It's 12:25 on WTMJ. News coming up in a few.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik for Flanners Home Entertainment. Have you been to a Flanners recently? They've got beautiful showrooms in West Allis and in Grafton. Get to shop anytime at flanners.com. If you are in the market for a bit of an upgrade in your technology at home, you connect with locally owned Flanners. They are the best in the business. They've got the great products that you might be looking for. They also have the best installation teams, very knowledgeable. It's not all about selling you the biggest or the best. It's what fits your system, what fits your space at home. You could go fancy and have speakers put in the ceilings or in the walls. Flanners can help you out with that installation. If you just need the right cables, Flanners can point you in the right direction there as well. They even take trade-in of your old stereo equipment or speakers. It's Flanners Home Entertainment. In a world of impersonal big box stores and that lack of after-sales support you might get online, there is locally owned Flanners doing the best for you. So work with them, and you'll achieve what you want at your home. Quality service, the best brands, guaranteed best prices, all there at Flanners. It's Flanners Home Entertainment, sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit frederick.com/cancer.
Now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Siding is what pops on your home. Clean lines, beautiful accents, and wonderful colors can make your home really look amazing. Homeowners are always looking to add curb appeal when buying new siding, and a well-installed product from Siding Unlimited will definitely deliver a grand appeal. There is so much more to gain from replacing your siding other than the curb appeal you're already seeking. There is so much value in having new siding with low maintenance. Just an annual cleaning with the hose is all you really need to do. You can't get much lower maintenance than that. The process of replacing siding gives homeowners a fresh start, a new understanding knowing that we can peel back the old stuff and get a real in-depth inspection on the walls on your home and the structural integrity. How has the home performed over the past 20 years? We'll see it all when removing the old siding. There's a high percentage your home is missing the most important factor in siding a home, and that's a working water barrier. Many homes built in the 1990s and prior don't have a water barrier beneath the siding, and homes that were built in the 90s that do have one probably have a water barrier that was installed incorrectly. New siding replacement assures us that we install the water barrier correctly and protect the home moving forward. Our process always includes adding insulation board to the wall. This gives you a water barrier underlayment and additional R value, which is an energy coefficient, so warmer walls, adding more value to the project than the expected curb appeal. As the new siding goes back on, we know your home will be ready to manage water well into the future and look amazing doing so.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for siding and also replacement windows, roofing, and decks. Take the next step. Check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more.
Approaching 12:30, I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, January 10th. Your top story, classes resume after a tragedy in Madison.
I'm Jessica Ty. A local retailer closes stores across the country.
Chance of some light snow, some PM flurries possible, and a high of 30 degrees today. Partly cloudy tonight and a low of 18. Saturday, the sun returns with a high of 28 degrees. Next chance of snow appears to be on Sunday with a high of about 30 degrees. There could be a little bit of accumulation. We'll track that throughout the course of the weekend. 27 and cloudy in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Winds in Southern California calmer today, but still posing a threat next week. Authorities confirmed at least 10 deaths in the Eaton and Palisades fires, and authorities are stepping up patrols due to recent looting. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass.
We have worked with the governor and Sheriff Luna to secure the National Guard, which will back up and free up our firefighters and police officers and play a key role in securing our evacuation zones to keep people safe and to protect against anyone thinking of taking advantage of this tragedy.
President-elect Donald Trump sentenced today in the hush money trial. The New York judge issued an unconditional discharge with no jail time for his conviction of falsifying business records. The Supreme Court heard arguments in the TikTok case, the China-owned company facing a January 19th ban if it does not sell its stake. Prosecutors say it poses a national security risk to Americans' data. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. In Madison,
as we face the return to school, our students will be back in the building. It will feel different. It will look different. It is different.
That's the message from Abundant Life Christian School Principal Doug Butler. Students returning to the building today for the first time since a shooting in December that killed 3 people, including the student shooter. 6 people were injured. 2 other students are still recovering at the hospital. Butler reminding students that new security measures are in place and that staff have been trained to provide trauma-informed care.
A Waukesha County judge grants conditional release for one of the young stabbers in the Slender Man case from 2014. Morgan Geyser was 12 years old when she and Anissa Wire lured their friend, 12-year-old Peyton Leitner, into a wooded park in Waukesha, then stabbed her 19 times. Leitner amazingly survived the attack. Defense attorney Anthony Cotton argued Geyser has cooperated with every step of treatment.
Went through a battery of treatment, antipsychotic medication for years, and has been willing to participate and has participated in every interview and evaluation that's taken place.
The state has 60 days to complete a conditional release plan designating where Geyser will live, her medication, and future treatment.
The name of the suspect was just unsealed in the case of a child killed in Chippewa Falls. The suspect's name, Carson Peters Berger. Investigators say he was 14 when he killed 10-year-old Lily Peters in 2022. Her body was found near a walking trail the day after a family reported her missing. Peters Berger has been charged with 3 felonies, including first-degree intentional homicide, first-degree sexual assault, and first-degree sexual assault of a child younger than 13. He is being tried as an adult.
The state of Wisconsin is set to receive a federal boost for its newest commuter rail line.
Nearly $40 million has been awarded to enhance service along the new Amtrak Borealis line. The commuter train connecting Chicago to the Twin Cities with 8 stops in Wisconsin has already soared above Amtrak's initial expectations. The train has now carried over 140,000 passengers since its inception in May, making it one of the most utilized regional rail lines in the country. An additional $4 million in bipartisan infrastructure funds will be used to advance railroad over- and underpass projects in 6 Wisconsin communities. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Well, Kohl's is closing over 24 stores this year. The Menominee Falls-based company making the announcement less than a week before Kohl's Corporation welcomes new CEO Ashley Buchanan. 27 underperforming locations will close by April, none in Wisconsin, however. This comes as Kohl's stock price has fallen about 51% over the last year.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your 4th quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. And it's free for you to view. Call 844-763-2837 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today, 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
It's a super affordable family fish fry Friday at the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Do not pay $16 or more for your fish fry. The Mine Chef fish fry is just $7.99, and it's all you can eat. You deserve it. After a long week, relax with a cold beverage and a great fish fry. Kids menu starts at $3.99, and they can safely play in that huge game room quietly tucked aside from the dining area while you finish up, maybe have an after-dinner drink. I repeat, hard to believe, the Mine Chef's all-you-can-eat fish fry is $7.99. Desserts are always buy one, get one free. The Mine Chef in beautiful downtown Hartford. And near the EAA in Oshkosh, tons of seating, lots of close parking. Reserve now for your Friday $7.99 all-you-can-eat fish fry, serving from 11 a.m. Get there early. I love that fish fry. Your Saturday steak dinner is under $20. Sunday brunch under $15. What a value. MineChefRestaurant.com.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, cold tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call. That's All Sports Desk. Packers quarterback Jordan Love, a full participant at practice. Same for Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. Both appear ready to go for Sunday in Philadelphia in the wild card round of the playoffs. Sunday's game, a 3:30 kick. College football tonight in Dallas. Ohio State takes on Texas in a college football playoff semifinal. Winner advances to play Notre Dame in the championship game a week from Monday. And the Bucs look to make it 3 wins in a row tonight. The team in Orlando to face the Magic. Coverage gets underway at 5:30 on WTMJ.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We do have a crash that's still out there in Milwaukee. I-94 East at the ramp from 25th Street. That's right over there by the St. Paul Avenue exit as well. Right shoulder is blocked due to a crash. And I just took a peek at the cameras to give you an update. And it's definitely slow going because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like about 5 emergency responders out there. The tow truck is on the scene, however, so hopefully this gets cleaned up quickly. But it's a mess right now, and traffic is moving very slowly around it.
Chance of light snow in the afternoon here. Some PM flurries possible and a high of 30 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 18. Sun returns on Saturday and a high of 28. Next chance for snow appears to be on Sunday. We'll track that for you here on WTMJ. Mostly cloudy and a high of 33. 27 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:38.
Packers fans are wishing for a win on Sunday. The playoffs are here, and it's win or go home. We're all wishing for... I am not prepared for the possibility of the season ending on Sunday, Greg, so they've got to win.
I've intentionally left that out of any sort of Packers story I've done. The season could come to an end on Sunday. No, that's not really the optimistic view, though it is the truth.
But you know who else is hoping for a win? Hunger Task Force. That's because Sargento will continue to donate $1,300 for each touchdown the Green Bay Packers score during the playoffs. Jonathan Hansen from Hunger Task Force and Portia Young from Sargento joined us live in the studio to talk. We love talking about good news, especially when it's connected to the Packers, Hunger Task Force, and then Sargento the cheese. I mean, does it get any better than this?
No, it's fantastic.
So let's go back first before we look ahead. The season, the regular season is done.
Yep.
So when we look at how many touchdowns the Packers have, how much money is going to Hunger Task Force just because of that?
Well, we have 52 Packers touchdowns. Go, Pack, go. So I was a communications journalism major, so I'll let Jonathan do the math on that.
Well, thank you so much, Portia. I think that math works out to just under $70,000 this year that's come from Sargento. And as part of this partnership, and at Hunger Task Force, we're so grateful to be a part of that. There's nothing more exciting than Packers playoff football, except when you add in Sargento and Hunger Task Force and touchdowns for Hunger.
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding. He got the math right.
Exactly. And we have been the official cheese of the Green Bay Packers since 2002. And we've been doing touchdowns for Hunger ever since. And the amount has just gone up and up. And we do have two charitable partners. So in aggregate, Sargento gives $2,000 per touchdown. And Hunger Task Force is a partner. And we also have partners up in Green Bay at Paul's Pantry. So it's an amazing, wonderful way to celebrate Packers touchdowns, but then also feed the community. And we have been partnering with Hunger Task Force for over 25 years. I mean, might even be 30 years at Sargento with Hunger Task Force.
It's been a great long-time partnership, and Sargento's gifts have really not only helped Hunger Task Force feed local families here in our Milwaukee community, but their partnership has really demonstrated statewide leadership across Wisconsin. They have helped us feed so many people, whether it's through their financial contributions, truckloads of cheese that pull up to our food bank. It's fantastic, and we just want to say thanks to Sargento and the Gentine family for everything they've done for Hunger Task Force over the years.
Well, and it keeps going through the playoffs, right?
Yes.
So you want to make this as long of a run as possible. I'm sure everybody involved. Do you up the ante in the postseason at all?
We want it to be like 2011 where we just run that table.
Yes.
We're just going to run the table. But you know what? No matter what the outcome, our community is going to win because of our donation to Hunger Task Force. And again, we root for Josh Jacobs. We root for all the wide receivers to get in there. So when we say go Pack go at Sargento, we mean it. Go Pack go. We got to get in that end zone to be able to make a difference.
Love that. Hunger Task Force, Milwaukee's free and local food bank. When you talk about the exact number here so far, $67,000, a little bit more than that, add 600 to that. But when you talk about those numbers, how many families, like how much of an impact does that make in our community? How are you using that money?
Right now, Hunger Task Force is serving over 50,000 people every month through our programs, through our services. The need at this time of year is about 30% higher than it was last year. Folks are just struggling out there with higher cost of living, the higher cost of food, and that is the number one thing that we constantly hear from the community level. And so this program comes at a very critical time when we are working to address that need, when we're working to feed families with healthy meals, culturally responsive meals. Sargento's support makes all that possible at Hunger Task Force.
Yes, and we've been partnering with Hunger Task Force since the very beginning. So it's been way more than $70,000. It's been actually about
$1.4 million, I believe, is our grand touchdowns for Hunger total over the years.
All those years.
So for years, I hosted the Packers Radio Network postgame show, and I did the Hunger Task Force Sargento reads. That was part of the postgame show. I always had to do the read, so I'd keep a track. I'd keep track of the total number. There was something to do with sacks in a different company, and then money for the Hunger Task Force through Sargento. So I was up on that. I was always up on that. Hey, Jonathan, what does that money go toward? How do you use the funds that are generated here and offered from Sargento?
We use those funds to purchase truckloads of food. We can purchase in bulk, and we can really stretch Sargento's contributions and generosity to purchase high levels of food that are distributed free of charge into our network of food pantries, soup kitchens, and homeless shelters right here in our community. So it helps us to purchase the food, deliver it free of charge, and support the free and local model that keeps families safe in our community.
And what's great about it is as Sargento, we believe in that model. We have a shared value, a shared partnership that we've had over, again, 30 years, even before Touchdowns for Hunger began, because of their vision and their leadership in feeding people across the entire state of Wisconsin through their network. That's the model that we believe in. We try to want to do the best thing and have the best outcomes for families in Wisconsin. And that's what we're all about at Sargento.
What's new over at Hunger Task Force? Because I know you have some great new things. A lot of times people think of Hunger Task Force and they think about the holidays, or you've got a TV station or a radio station in the newspaper that's doing a big food drive and they're dropping off food. But I know at your new location, if you walk inside, you have a lot of great programs that are going on to help the community. What's new at Hunger Task Force?
Well, in addition to working hard to meet the need, we are always in the need for volunteers. We have a large new volunteer action center at our facility in West Milwaukee that can take on groups of 20 to 30 people. We need help building 10,000 stock boxes for low-income seniors every month that we distribute out into the community. So that is always a need. That's always an ongoing activity that we're working on with community partners. So if you're looking for your group or your congregation, your school, for a way to get involved, that's something that we always need help with year-round.
Yeah. Portia, why is this so meaningful to you? You mentioned the longevity of the program. Why is it so meaningful to you?
Well, as a real food company, we believe that no family should ever go hungry. So we give back to our community. They are one of our stakeholders, and we definitely consider Jonathan and his entire team part of the Sargento family. We have that concept where we know that we need to share the success that we have at Sargento back with our community, and the Hunger Task Force has been our key way that we've been able to do that for many, many years.
If we go back, how did Sargento become the official cheese of the Green Bay Packers? And do they get a deal on the cheese? I mean, the fun stuff. Give us the goods.
So we became the official cheese of the Packers in 2002-03 era. And we did that to let people know that we were from Wisconsin. We're cheeseheads. Yep. But we didn't just do it just to sell cheese. It wasn't about that. We did it so that we could shine a light on our community partners. And Hunger Task Force was the first one that we chose to do that. So we knew we wanted to have some charitable aspect to this, to be able to let people know that we really do care for our community. Even though we're up in Plymouth, Wisconsin, we give back to Milwaukee, we give back to statewide, we give back to Green Bay. So that's really why we got that partnership. And we didn't just do it again to sell cheese, but you're right, we do get those cheese curds to Lambeau Field, so everybody got those delicious cheese curds up there. But yeah, that's really how we've been able to use that platform, is to shine a light on the great work that Jonathan and everybody at Hunger Task Force does.
That is kind of funny. So if you go up to Green Bay on a given day, you'll see the giant trucks for satellite, right, to make sure the TV broadcast goes off. And you'll see the giant truck with cheese curds in it from Sargento pulling out. I had a lot of cheese curds in that place.
Oh, it's a lot. Yeah, I think last year we had like 84,000 orders of cheese curds, and they're ooey gooey goodness.
They are so good. Such a perfect snack, especially for the game. Jonathan, you're from the Green Bay area too. So how much fun is this for you on game day to be cheering for your Packers, number one, but then cheering for each of these touchdowns because you know Sargento is going to help out for the Hunger Task Force and ultimately the community?
It's pretty special as a lifelong Packer fan growing up in that area. But at Hunger Task Force, we are all Packer fans because of our partnership with Sargento. And it just makes it all the more easy and fun to root for the team, to root for the partnership, and have the community just really follow along with that. And like Portia said, to really shine a light on the issues that we're facing in our community with hunger and with families who need help, and about the great stories and the great partnerships that are formed as a part of that between Hunger Task Force, Sargento, and the Packers that can really make a huge impact.
Jonathan, how expansive is your reach here in the state of Wisconsin? Is it a little more localized to Milwaukee and surrounding communities, or do you branch out quite a bit?
Hunger Task Force is the statewide leader. We not only manage our local emergency food network here in southeastern Wisconsin, but we have formed incredible partnerships across the state through the Hunger Relief Federation of Wisconsin, and have helped to support and partner with those organizations, often through Sargento support as well, to really help build up their capacity, help them address the unique needs that they have, whether they're in an urban setting or a rural setting, so that Wisconsin communities across the board are stronger in the fight against hunger.
Yep.
Okay, any guesses how many touchdowns we're going to get on Sunday? We're going to get the most,
I'm
right?
going with
Let's just put it that way.
5 plus.
I have to abstain because I have to keep my Packer friends happy. So I will abstain from that conversation. But I will say as many as possible.
As many as possible. Let's keep it going. And then hopefully we get the win. Fingers crossed. I'm being optimistic. And then we've got another game and more touchdowns and
Just
more money from Sargento.
Manifest.
You know, Gina, our producer, that's her favorite word. So we're gonna manifest that, Gina.
I would love the last game to be in February. Just put it that way.
We hope so.
That would be a lot of fun.
4 more games.
Run the table.
Jonathan Hansen with Hunger Task Force and Portia Young with Sargento. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. We'd love to talk about good efforts like this one.
Thanks for having us.
1248 on WTMJ.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
The only place to get this.
Every twist and turn you could possibly dream of is playing out tonight. Are you kidding me?
With some of this.
We are the Bucks, Justin.
You're a member of the team now. Okay.
Well, I have the tattoo on my arm, so I kind of am.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show with Justin Garcia and Brandon Snide. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
We've seen that sleep apnea bully stop breathing more than 100 times an hour. But this problem is solvable, and Advent has simple solutions that have been proven to be extremely effective.
Start the new year right with Norwalk Furniture on sale now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 35% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options and comfort levels, from cuddling to extra firm support. Norwalk Furniture's American roots go back over 102 years. For better quality American-made upholstery, shop the Norwalk Upholstery Sale at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown. Better days start with a better night's sleep on a mattress from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in Milwaukee, our mattresses are custom built to your needs. We have all the comfort and firmness options to give you your best night's rest. Buying direct from our factory showrooms will save you up to 50% compared to national brands. Shop today during our New Year's sale at Ken Michaels Furniture for over 75 years of uncompromising quality, local factory direct saving, and your best night's sleep.
David Nason here, your trusted Fix-It-Show guy, here to give you some essential home maintenance advice. If you're dealing with leaks, stains, cracks in your basement, it's time to call the experts I trust at Accurate Basement Repair. They've fixed many of our listeners' basements, and the results were fantastic. Dry, secure, and peace of mind restored. Don't let basement issues mess up your home. Trust Accurate Basement Repair to get the job done right. Call them today.
Thanks, David. Accurate Basement Repair. We're not just good, we're accurate.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris are joined by MJ's former teammate, Dr. Lloyd Walton. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast. It's Friday, which means it's time for Stories of the Strange on Wisconsin's Midday News.
So every year, the TSA comes out with its annual list of best catches.
The best catch. What did they find this time?
This is the stuff that somebody tried to get through TSA but could not get it through TSA. So all the confiscated items from travelers in 2024. Here's what they came up with.
Agents found a gun in a stroller at Houston's Hobby Airport, 2 live snakes in a man's pants at Miami International, methamphetamine hidden in crutches at the airport in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, an e-cigarette inside a toothpaste tube at Chicago's Midway Airport, a gun in a boot stuffed inside a Lego box at Newark Liberty, and a bag of marijuana stuffed in a jar of peanut butter at Asheville Regional Airport in North Carolina.
The TSA didn't say how many guns it found in 2024, but in 2023, it snagged a record 6,700 firearms. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
All right, before we get into this a little deeper, anything stand out about
snakes in your pants?
Two live snakes in a man's pants at Miami International.
Drugs, guns, I get it, right? Just that's what people try to do on occasion at different airports. But that was a new one for me.
Two live snakes in a man's pants at Miami International.
I have several questions here.
I mean, I guess it'd be weird if they were dead, too, but two live snakes in the man's pants are just like slithering around in there.
So apparently it is illegal to take a live snake onto an airplane. I did not know this. I didn't know if you had a cage for it, if you could possibly do that, or if you'd have to put it in the underbelly with other animals. I always think that's a weird thing, but nonetheless, apparently snakes are not allowed.
Well, there was that movie, Snakes in a Plane.
Yes.
But not the movie Snakes in Your Pants.
Snakes in Your Pants is not a movie, nor should it be.
Bizarre.
I don't know if it'd be airable in any sort of network programming.
Don't you want to know more, though? Like,
yes.
Why did the man have snakes in his pants? Where were they going? How old were the snakes? What was the point?
I'm also trying to think through the mind of a snake. Like, what am I doing down here? What is this? Really? This is where you want me to be? And aren't you a little bit concerned, even if the snakes are somewhat tame, that they might just sort of lash out and latch onto something?
The man must not be ticklish, because you'd think they're moving, right? I mean, they're snakes.
Yes,
and
they do slither.
How were they in his pants? Why didn't they fall down?
Is this like a cargo pocket sort of thing?
So many questions.
I do have several questions, but yes, as we're moving through and listening to that whole feature, I thought it was very interesting, but...
Two live snakes in a man's pants at Miami International.
Very much stood out to me.
Have you ever been stopped for anything? Obviously not live snakes in your pants.
So occasionally, if I'm traveling for work and I've got a series of microphones and recorders and things along that line, my bag will get flagged for like, wait a minute, what's this? Just a little bit different, a little bit obscure. What are you traveling with this for? The recorders look like something like you're just not used to seeing. So, yes, it has happened typically when I travel for work.
There was one time I got pulled over. Not pulled over, but yeah, I guess technically. That sounds like you're in the car, right? But yeah, TSA grabbed me because of all the pens that I had in my purse. And it was hilarious because I had so many pens at one point that I wrapped a little rubber band around them just to keep them secure and nice and neat in one spot. And I've had those pens in my purse, and it was traveling quite a bit. But for some reason, I was like, I wonder if it's because I organized them so nicely. So I asked, I said, what were you looking at? And she said, oh, it was all the pens. So I guess it's because I had them wrapped up. I don't know if it looked like it could have been a weapon or what, but no, that was just me being organized and neat.
Big old stack of pens. Well, that is largely different than...
Two live snakes in a man's pants at Miami International.
I wonder if the snakes thought that there was a third snake and they were maybe confused why it wasn't moving as much.
Oh, dear. It's time to end the show.
News is next at WTMJ.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Higginson, Saturday afternoon at 2. Join John each week as he challenges financial advice you've been given and reaffirms what you know to be true. If your financial plan doesn't include taxes, insurance, estate planning, and investing, it's incomplete and you can't afford to miss out. At Creative Planning, we provide all the expertise, all the advice you need, all in-house. To learn more, visit creativeplanning.com/radio.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Special Milwaukee Auto Show Advance Discount Ticket Offer has been extended to January 22nd. Turns out a lot of people want to come to the auto show. Get your auto show tickets now at a big discount. Buy a single ticket, or how about a pair of tickets for date night? Or you can buy a family 4-pack and take everybody. They can see all the latest vehicles, including cars, trucks, SUVs, luxury cars, and much more. For advanced discount tickets, go to autoshowmilwaukee.com. That's autoshowmilwaukee.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. You business owner, I got a perfect way for you to freshen up your business. How about a fresh coat of paint? Call your neighborhood CertaPro painter. Ask about their color consultation services. I use CertaPro. They're the best. They're affordable. They're efficient. They do things the right way. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Homeowners, this is a way to freshen up your house like we did. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. That's the guys I trust. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
By now you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semperfi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of.